Hello, I apologize for my voice. Is a bit different today. It's 2 a.m. as of recording this video. Today we'll be talking with journalist and blogger Alexander Lapshin. Links to his channel will be in the description. For those in the audience who don't know Mr. Lapshin, he was arrested in Belarus in 2016 at the request of Azerbaijani authorities and extradited to Baku due to visit to Artsakh. On May 20th, 2021, the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg ruled on his complaint against the Republic of Azerbaijan, finding the country's authorities responsible for the illegal arrest, torture, and attempted murder against Lapshin. Today we will discuss his arrest and time in Baku and the arrest of Armenian blogger Bella. We will also touch upon Armenia and Israel relations. Hello, Mr. Lapshin. Thank you for
Hello,
dedicating.
hello, man.
Thank
So
you.
after
Uh-huh.
explanation, actually, I'm just thinking what to add to what you said.
Uh-huh.
So basically, first of all, I'm not a politician activist.
Of
I'm not
course.
human rights defender or something. I was a travel blogger.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I studied economy and the law, but I decided to travel the globe and publish my blogs and photos and videos. So I'm a blogger, like all
Uh-huh.
of us.
Of course.
All of us nowadays. So
Thank. Uh-huh.
it was a very bad surprise for me to be arrested in Belarus and rest of the Republic of Azerbaijan,
Mm-hmm.
because I am not Armenian, I am not Azerbaijani. I'm from
Right.
a Jewish family of Polish origin, and I was born in the Soviet Union, so it had
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with Azerbaijan. So I visited 156 to 57 countries as for today. So one of the places I visited was Armenia
Mm-hmm.
and plus Artsakh.
Of course.
And on the same trip, I visited Georgia and Azerbaijan.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one trip for about 20 days in a total. So I
Mm-hmm.
spent 2 days in Artsakh. So I was able to visit Stepanakert, Gandzasar Monastery,
Mm-hmm.
Dadivang, and basically that's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. So I had just 2 days. So I even didn't visit Shushi actually, because it was a fog around and the road, the road
Uh-huh.
was closed.
I
So
see.
my time was limited. So I just continued my way to Stepanakert.
Mm-hmm.
So, so when I was arrested in Belarus, this happened eight years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Time flies.
Yes, 8 years. It was a horrible experience. From the beginning, they entered my hotel room in the capital city of Minsk, Republic of Belarus. Was on my way from the Republic of Lithuania to Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle of the way, I decided to make a stopover to visit Minsk just for one day. It was my first visit to Belarus in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing to do with Belarus as well.
Right.
It was the most expensive stopover in my life. So in the middle of the night, somebody knocks on my door, my hotel door. It was around, like your LA time, around 1, 2 a.m. or
Mm-hmm.
something. I was sleeping on the bed. So when I looked in this hole in the door, so I could see police in balaclava masks
Uh-huh.
and Kalashnikov machine guns.
Oh
And
man.
they said,
Yeah.
open the door. So I opened my door and they said, you're under arrest in the Republic of Azerbaijan because of your visit to, and they didn't know how to pronounce. They said, Nagorno, something.
Okay.
They said,
Yeah, it was
resisted Nagorno.
Belarusian
Yes.
KGB,
I
right?
think just police.
Oh, okay.
Police, I believe they were from the police.
Mm-hmm.
So from the beginning, I remember I said, is it a joke or something? Are you kidding, guys? They said, no, this is not a joke. So look, we have an order for your arrest. So please collect your belongings and let's go with us.
Mm.
So I said, could you just give me just 1 minute to go to the restroom? They said, okay, go to restroom. You know why? So before I went to my bed, I took the shower and I forgot my cell phone in the restroom.
Oh, okay.
So my plan was to go to the restroom and
To
to
let
send the
somebody
message
know.
to my wife. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's why. So they
That's
said,
smart.
okay, entered. Yes, so I entered the restroom and they closed the door, and I was able to send the message to my wife plus to my Facebook account that I'm under arrest. they're going to take me to Pervomayskaya police station, whatever. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But they could hear it. When I pushed the button, it was a blah, blah, so they could hear it. So
okay. So they knew what's going on.
Yes. They put me on the ground and put a fence cuff on my hand and took me to the police station. So, but till the very last moment, I couldn't believe this is real.
You thought somebody was pulling a prank?
Yes. Because I little bit pranker myself. So I'm gonna have some pranks to my friends, for example. Not such a horrible pranks, but who knows?
You never know, yeah.
You never know. So they put me in a small cell with a couple of homeless people, and they told me, "You're under arrest. This is not a joke. It's gonna take a long time. You'll be extradited to Azerbaijan." So when I told them, guys, can I just get in touch with my embassy? Because I have like 2 passports, Israeli and Russian. So I get in touch with the embassy. They said, no, you don't need your embassy because you can trust us.
No, famous last words.
Yeah. And I said, can I just communicate with my family? They said the same. No worries. We will take care of you.
We'll take care of you, yeah.
Yes. So I spent like 2 days in the police station without food, without any communication, any links with my family, lawyer, my embassy, just nothing. From the police station, I was taken to the central prison called Volodarka. This is a central prison of Minsk, where I spent 2 more months. But fortunately, because I was able to send the message in the restroom, so I didn't know about that, but all the newspapers, all the outlets, all the old bloggers already published what happens to me. So despite the fact that Belarusian investigators told me no one knows about you, no one cares about you, so you will be taken to Azerbaijan. So in reality was different. I spent, as I said, 2 months in Belarusian jail in a small cell full of people, really full of people. It was like normal room in, I don't know, 15 quarter meters. So in California, it's a little bit different in feet.
Yeah.
Like normal room. Yeah, very small room with like 20-25 people inside. So we couldn't even sleep normally because some people had to sleep on the ground.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was horrible.
And then my lawyers finally my lawyers were able to visit me after about, I believe, like 20 days. So I spent 20 days without lawyer, without any contact with my family, with anything, just full isolation from the outside world. So we applied to the High Court of the Republic of Belarus to try to prevent the extradition. But on the same day, I remember it was 3rd of February, 2017, 3rd of February, like exactly 8 years and 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, actually. It was a press conference of President Lukashenko. Could you see this press conference? I will send you the link. This is really unbelievable. So somebody asked him, just in front of hundreds of journalists, Mr. President, could you please comment on the issue with blogger Alexander Lapshin? And Lukashenko just sat in front of the hundreds of journalists. Where is my Minister of Internal Affairs? Where's him? And he said, it was unbelievable. He said, I told you, send him to Azerbaijan, but in a quiet way.
Oh, wow.
So
in front of,
just in front of all the journalists. And the second point, he said, look, we have our agreements with Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is a friendly country, and there were specific words that he said in Russian language. So, for example, he said, I decided to send him to Azerbaijan. So sorry, not me, but we decided. No, not me, but court decided. That's really unbelievable. So on the next day, I was extradited to Azerbaijan without even the court decision. In the middle of court, proceedings, was taken
So
to
it
Azerbaijan.
was
with a private
illegal
jet.
also in Belarusian court of law, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. But there is no law in Belarus.
Well,
It's
of
more
course,
like North Korea, Azerbaijan, or something.
of course.
And I spent 7 months in Azerbaijani jail. First days, I believe I spent in KGB jail.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, but I'm not sure because they put kind of,
Mask.
black pocket on my face. So I couldn't see where they was taken.
I see.
So I spent a few days, I believe, in KGB jail. And then they moved to Kurdakhani jail, where actually most of the Armenian hostages held right now, the same jail. This is about 10 kilometers northeast of Baku city.
I see.
Basically, this is my story. So I was taken to the court. I was accused of so-called illegal crossing of the Azerbaijani border, which means I visited Artsakh. And I was accused of that I allegedly called Artsakh as an independent country. So I received 3.5 years sentence in prison. But I couldn't run this punishment because I was assaulted in my solitary confinement in my cell by 4 masked men who just entered in the middle of the night, and I was attacked by them, assaulted by them. So 3 of them kept my hands, my legs, and one of them just jumped on my chest. They started to strangle me like this.
Oh, wow.
So, but I'm not Rambo or something. I'm not Sylvester Stallone. So I lost my consciousness after about 10-15 seconds. And
That must have been horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next time when I opened my eyes, this actually happened 4 days later. And I couldn't understand what's going on because I'm lying in the bed in a hospital room with the artificial mask here. My left hand was broken fingers and broken teeth. So now I have implants here. And a huge hematoma on the right side. So I could see with my only left eye. And from the beginning, I even couldn't understand what's going on. So I tried to talk, but I couldn't talk because of this tube, artificial everything. And I could see Israeli consul general, just by my bed, and few Azerbaijani officials. And they told me that I tried to commit suicide, but they saved my life. So I tried to say this is wrong, but I couldn't talk because of the tube. I couldn't talk. And then after a few days, I was extradited to Israel, and I was told that I received the pardon from the Azerbaijani president, but I never asked for any pardon from him.
Right. Yeah.
I never asked, but I received.
You received.
But I believe, yes, I received. But I believe I was going to die actually in the prison. So based on my medical documents, I was taken to the hospital. It was a clinical death, actually. I was about to die because of strangulation.
Well, I'm glad you survived that and you lived to actually tell your story because it's very important that a lot of people know that and thankfully the courts have been ruling against them and you were able to be released. Can you tell me about your release a little bit? Was it the Israeli government or international court?
This is very interesting and important question. So in my own opinion, I could be wrong. My own opinion, Israel didn't want to support me at all.
Oh, wow.
So I know we have kind of stereotypes like Israelis support each other, Jews, all of Jews together. But this
We
is
have similar, yeah.
Yes, but this is unfortunately, this is wrong. So of course, I was visited by Israeli consul general a few times during my imprisonment. Her name was, I don't remember what was her name. So she visited me a few times, and she told me from the beginning, Israeli consul general, she told me, look, we have just brilliant relations with the Republic of Azerbaijan. She said, you are a journalist yourself. So she said, you know exactly that very few Muslim countries ready to cooperate with us in the Middle East. So Azerbaijan is one of them. So she said, you know exactly what's going on between us and the Islamic Republic of Iran. So actually she printed some of my my previous publications. She said, and marked with yellow marker.
She highlighted.
Said, yes. So she said, you said yourself that we need to cooperate. I said myself that it's Israeli interest to cooperate with Azerbaijan because of Iranian threat to Israel. So she said, you said yourself. She said,
right.
This is right. This is right. So she said, we cannot just go and support you in kind of open way. So we're trying to communicate with our Azerbaijani colleagues through the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Azerbaijan. But she said, look, Ilham Aliyev is interested to show example to the world what's going to happen with anyone who will visit Nagorno-Karabakh.
I see.
So she said,
yes.
right now, we're trying to help you, but right now we just can't. So she said, be strong and keep low profile. And she said, I believe within a year or 2 years, you will be released home. Hopefully. We will try to do our best. So I really can't say that Israel supported me. As for Russians actually visited me as well. And Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sergei Lavrov, he said in a press conference, actually supported me, at least in a vocal way. He said, this is absolutely illegal to extradite journalists just because of their visit to some region. But I believe Russians supported me because of one simple reason, because of Crimea. Because there is a similar law in Ukraine. So anyone who's going to visit Crimea from the Russian territory is going to be persecuted by the Ukrainian law.
So it was more of a political play.
Yes, yes. So it's very difficult for me to figure out what's really happened. And who tried actually to kill me in a prison. This is another interesting question because I survived, and when I ask myself why I survived, who tried to assassinate me? Because as far as I know, Ilham Aliyev agreed with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu about my extradition from Azerbaijan to Israel after I spent 9 months in a jail. So what was the reason to kill me? A few days before the sending me to Israel. What was the reason?
Right.
It's going to create a real scandal.
Yeah.
It's no any logic. So I believe, assassination was organized not by Ilham Aliyev, because otherwise I would die. So it was organized with somebody who tried to compromise Ilham Aliyev. I believe within his own government. You know, Azerbaijan is consisted of few clans, a few ruling clans. It's more like a movie, The Godfather. Do you remember the Italian
There's
mafia?
the families, yeah.
Yes, just a few
he was one of the opposition leaders or other oligarch or something like that?
Yes, yes. I think somebody really tried to compromise Ilham Aliyev. And that's why they made every effort to actually save my life, to take me to the hospital, and then immediately to pardon me and send me to Israel. And all of this happens within like a few days.
So Aliyev wanted to get rid of the problem and overall the scandal. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes.
That's insane. And regarding the current event with Bella, I saw your recent video about her. It seems like she's set to be released, and you advised her and her family to leave Belarus, warning that Azerbaijani mobs might come after her, and you've shown a couple of bloggers who were very aggressive towards her. In your opinion, does this mean every Armenian is at risk in Belarus and Russia? And without social media outrage, is anyone who criticizes the Azerbaijani dictatorship is in danger of being extradited to Baku?
Yes, actually, that's why I feel kind of involved in the case of Bella Babakhanian. So her name is Bella Babakhanian, because I had the same experience. So, but honestly speaking, before the girl was arrested, I had not even heard of her at all. So I was contacted discreetly by a former member, employee actually, of the Belarusian Prosecutor General Office. There is a kind of unofficial organization called Belpol. Belpol means Belarusian Police. Belpol.
Oh, okay.
So they're based in Europe, and which includes full employees of the Prosecution General Office, of the police, of the KGB, etc., and different authorities, government
That's
authorities.
interesting.
So they oppose the Lukashenko regime, and they're able to keep the links with some of the officials within the government. So they have some information from inside information.
Right.
So that's why they contacted me and said it was a request from Azerbaijan to arrest some Armenian girl. Her name is Bela Babakhanyan. So as I mentioned, I never heard of her. So, and they said, if you can, and if you wish to help her in any way, so this is the time, because otherwise she will be taken to Azerbaijan. So they sent me the article, the criminal law of Azerbaijan, that was sent by the Azerbaijani Prosecutor General Office to the Belarusian Prosecutor General Office, but it was kind of unofficially. So how to explain you? So officially, at least officially, Azerbaijan never applied to Belarus with extradition request regarding this girl. At least officially. It was a different way.
I see.
So they asked the Belarusian authorities, but in a discreet way, to arrest her and to put her under custody, and just give them a few weeks to decide what to do. And within a few weeks, Azerbaijan will issue official order for her arrest. So this is what they did with me. It was the same, because I was arrested in request of Azerbaijan, but officially, the first time I could see the Azerbaijani documents, this happened in about 3 weeks. That's it. So my lawyer couldn't get access to the documents from Azerbaijan because they had to prepare the documents. So I couldn't just keep low profile and to wait, despite the fact that I received messages from her family, I believe, or maybe from her husband. But the problem is that I received a lot of messages from many different people. So at least three men said that they're husbands of Bela Babakhanyan. So I believe some of them were just Azerbaijani provocators.
Of course.
And many of her friends from Russia, from Armenia, from Georgia sent the messages, please keep low profile, otherwise she will be killed, etc., etc. So when I tried to figure out, who are you guys? From just empty Facebook account. So it's a kind of, it was a difficult decision for me, because of course I could keep low profile, not to try to drag my friends in Europe. And for example, we got in touch with Svetlana Tikhanovskaya from the Belarusian opposition.
Yes.
So yesterday she just published in her Twitter account, and she said that arrest of Bela Babakhanyan, it was illegal, so this is against the international law, etc., etc. So this is good. And this story was published in a lot of actually Armenian outlets and newspapers, and the same in Russia and Europe. And now her case is widespread, so everyone knows about what's happening. So, but still, we did not receive any comments from the Armenian government, despite the fact that she's an Armenian citizen. And
she's a citizen.
Amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's an Armenian citizen. So when I tried to get in touch with my my contacts within the Armenian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they asked them, guys, what's going on? So they said, we have no information.
And they refused to comment as well?
I have no idea. As far as I know, the Armenian ambassador to Belarus is out of Belarus. Because you remember, it was a scandal about half a year ago or something, when Alexander Lukashenko said something against the Armenians. You remember?
Oh, yes, there was some kind of a, there was an issue.
So
they recalled him, I think.
Decided to take ambassador back to Iran.
Well, I'm pretty sure They have direct contact, Pashinyan and Lukashenko. He could have
No,
contacted.
not at
No,
all.
they don't?
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh.
So she's alone. She has a lawyer, of course. She has a lawyer, Belarusian lawyer, and the Armenian diaspora in Belarus. They try somehow to help her, but unfortunately, most of the Armenians in Belarus, this is very small diaspora. They have no any contacts with the government. So there are a few businessmen who try to support you with financial resources or something. But you can never know what's going to be happening, because this is up to Azerbaijanis and Belarusian authorities.
I see.
And
Can the
now,
diaspora help in any way besides spreading the word?
I believe not in Belarus. Belarus is a very specific case. This is not California and not Armenia.
Right.
Basically, as far as I know, the local diaspora leaders tried to get in touch with Belarusian officials and never received any response. So as far as I know, for now, she was arrested for 15 days. And on 27 or 28 of February, she's going to be released, supposedly. So I hope so, at least supposedly. She will be released. And I believe she just have to leave Belarus immediately. Because I can see, and I search the Azerbaijani Telegram groups, where just Azerbaijanis publish lots of threats against her, against her family, against her children. And they say, in case that Belarus will not extradite her to Azerbaijan, so we'll have to come and punish her by our hands. So
that is very concerning. Yes, of course.
It's very dangerous and concerning.
Yeah, I hope she will get released, and I hope she immediately leaves Belarus, because threats like these, I'm pretty sure they mean something. I want to thank you on behalf of all Armenian community, both for all Armenians, that the work that you have been doing, and your involvement also in this case, voluntarily or involuntarily, you are somehow tied to us. Yeah,
thank you so much. I will try to do my best.
You are, by just voicing it, because honestly, I have been following you for a while, and first I heard about her arrest on your channel, and I tried to spread the word, and hopefully this video will reach to somebody as well, so they can maybe in some way help her. Maybe, I don't know, if somebody in Russia is watching this, or in Belarus who has some kind of a contact who can help her, please do. I want to also talk a bit about Israeli and Armenia relations as well before we go. During the 2020 war, Israel supplied Azerbaijan with $375 million worth of weapons, and reportedly they had also drone specialists on the ground, both training and sometimes on the combat zones against Armenian soldiers. Given this, along with the current tensions over Armenian Quarter in Jerusalem, where do you see the relations between Armenia and Israel, and are they at all-time low? And are there any politicians or influential figures in Israel speaking in support of Armenia?
Look, in my own opinion, once again, I could be wrong. So when considering the relations between Azerbaijan and Israel and plus Armenia, so I think it's important to assess the situation more broadly than just supply of weapons from Israel to Azerbaijan. So Israel supplies weapons to like 56 or 57 countries in the world, including Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan is only, as far as I remember, fifth in this list in terms of amounts of money weapons. And supply volume. So in principle, it makes no difference for Israeli authorities, for Israeli government, who it supplies weapons at all. So Israel supplies weapons to countries like Colombia, Mexico, Thailand, and the biggest country that received Israeli weapons, actually India. India, and not Azerbaijan. So I think that Israel is has no interest to, to harm the interest of Armenia, and interest just for maximum profit from the arms sales and the use of Azerbaijani territory for spying and some military operations against the Islamic Republic of Iran. So once again, fortunately, or probably unfortunately, so Armenia is actually a very small country and a very small player in the big political game. So at least for Israel, Armenia is just one more small Soviet country, more like Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, and Armenia. So I can understand the position of most of the Armenians who actually are very angry, and I can understand it, that Israel supplies weapons to Azerbaijan. But consider that not only Israel supplies weapons to Azerbaijan.
Well, of course, Russia did, Turkey did.
Russian Federation.
Yes, of
Russian
course.
Federation. The so-called
ally, the ally.
biggest ally. Biggest ally. And both Russian Federation and Armenia, both allies within the seas, and how we say, SNG, seas, within the seas, right?
The post-Soviet countries,
Yes, and ODKB, and
CSTO,
CSTO. So Israel is not a part of any agreement with Armenia.
Of course,
So Israel has its own interest. That's it. That is not against Armenia. This is about Israeli interest. So we can say the same. Armenia had just and keeps just brilliant relations with Iran, which is the biggest enemy of Israel.
Yeah. So it's all about just business and money. There is no nothing else involved, basically.
I would say on a public social level. So Israeli Jews are very friendly towards Armenians. So everyone
I know a lot of Jews here, and
yes, about Charles Aznavour. The Jews in the diaspora in California, they have nothing to do with Armenians. So
of course,
they're friendly. They cooperate a lot. So you can see a lot of Jews and Armenians work together in the same companies.
Of course, yes. I don't think there is any ill tensions between the people. It's just more like on government level, which is a bit different. But let's talk about the Armenian Quarter. I believe there was an issue about selling the land, and what's going on in there? Do you have any knowledge of what's happening?
Actually, last year I had a meeting in Armenian Patriarchate in Jerusalem with Patriarch. His name is Nurhan. Nurhan. It was actually published in many Israeli newspapers that a group of Israeli supporters of Armenia came for a visit. We were invited by Nurhan, by Patriarch Nurhan, and we talked to him about 2 hours about different issues, what's going on about the Armenian Quarter of Jerusalem. So, in my opinion, once again, I could be wrong. So this is a two-sided corruption scheme in which both Israeli authorities and officials of Armenian Patriarchate actually involved in this corruption scheme.
Okay.
So this is unfortunately not the first and not the last case of this kind of corruption. So, for example, this conflict actually exists around the parking lot. It's quite a big parking lot within the Armenian Quarter in Jerusalem, and it was leased to the Australian company a few years ago. It was signed by one of the advisors of Nurhan, of Patriarch Nurhan. So at least officially, it was legally signed by the Patriarchate.
I see.
And both sides.
So somebody accepted money?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. So what were said by Nurhan? So I asked him very directly, asked Nurhan. I told him, Your Majesty, Patriarch, or something. Could you please tell me? You're the highest level person here in Jerusalem. Could you please tell me what exactly happened? Who signed this document?
Right. What did he say?
Was it you? He said, no way. He said, it was one of my advisors. He mentioned his name. I just don't remember now. But you can just Google this his name. It was signed by one of his advisors who was exceptionally corrupted, who received money from this Australian company, And when it was signed and it was taken to the, how we say, organization that actually registration chamber.
Okay.
Yeah, registration chamber of Jerusalem. So he said we could do nothing. And nowadays, based on this agreement, of this lease agreement, so this company is have all the legal rights to build the hotel in our area. So I said, what's next? What are you going to do?
Right.
So he said, we applied to the Jerusalem City Court. We're trying to cancel the decision. We're trying to explain through our attorneys. And thus, this registration of this agreement was illegal from the beginning because this person wasn't allowed. This
to
person
make the
from
decision.
The wasn't allowed to sign any documents in the name of patriarchate.
I see.
So, unfortunately, from the Israeli side, I would say from the Australian Israeli, I don't know, because the owner of this Australian company is a Jew, Australian Jew. And what is even more interesting, when I Googled about this person, the owner of this Australian company, this man is kind of, he spent a few years in Israeli jail for corruption. It's not linked to the Armenians at all. It was a different story, but it happened 20 years ago. Then he immigrated to Australia. And now he involved in one more scandal, corruption scandal. This man is linked with the Jewish Orthodox in Jerusalem, who are actually interested to take the Armenian lands. But actually, Israel is a democracy. You can't take Armenian lands. So they need to use corruption scams to take it. And unfortunately, nowadays, some Jewish extremists who were just paid by this man in Australia, few times came to Armenian Quarter and came to the Armenian restaurant and broke the tables and windows. And
I remember that.
To them the Armenian flag or something. But few of them were arrested by the Israeli police. Unfortunately, this story is very bad for both, for Armenians and Jews. So I just can pray and I hope that the Jerusalem court will cancel this decision of the
let's hope they do.
The Chamber of Commerce, and Armenians will be able to keep this parking lot.
And I hope they do an inventory to get rid of the inside corruption on both ends.
Yes. The most important problem is not Israeli authorities. Okay, they're corrupted.
Yeah.
But we have not only them corrupted, but the Armenian authorities and patriarchate. This is the biggest problem.
That's a big issue.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Lapshin, thank you so much for the interesting interview. We will be continuing to watch the Bella's progress to see what goes on with her, and hopefully she will be released and not extradited to Azerbaijan. And again, I'm asking for anybody who can help with the issue, whether if you're in Russia or Belarus, please do. And thank you again, Mr. Lapshin, for coming on. And please, you also stay safe and continue to do your great work that you're doing.
Armen, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you.
You too. Have a good one.